So today, in the last day or two, there has been a good amount of news regarding number one, resources, and number two, the newest prize and participation from the. I already forgot the name of it again. Price of honor. Price of loyalty. No, what is this? What is this OP coming up called?
No, not peak performance. That's the other one.
Yeah.
Matter of honor.
Matter of honor. So there's been some announcements in the next few days, and this is going to be our news segment on those couple of things. First one up is going to be resources in general. So of those of you who haven't seen, WizKids has recently announced in their rules forum and actually on their site that all Star Trek resources are now being grandfathered into a retirement system. We're going to put them away and put them out to pasture in their wonderful little places that no one can see them or play them again. That is totally what we're doing with these things. But so the time limit on these things is they will now expire 18 months after they were scheduled to be released. Not necessarily when you got them or when they were released, but when they actually were supposed to be released according to WizKids' marketing schedule.
By my math, by the way, that puts everything starting with Matter of Honor forward 3 months later than it should be.
It could do so. It does some weird things, but yeah, a lot of that is because we get things delayed from December. Like OP3 used to be in Resistance. OP3 was supposed to be in December, got pushed to January, but they're still considering it as November or something for the resource expiration date.
Yeah, it's okay. Nobody ran high yield torpedoes anyways.
Hey,
but maybe I would.
Listen. They make fabulous coasters.
I don't know. They're too small for my water bottle, man.
Will, I'm going to send you a photo of my coffee cup so that you can understand why they work for me for coasters.
Nice.
Also, they warm David in the cold North California.
Tossing them into that fireplace.
I actually remember, people think I'm joking about the burning stuff. There was a photo on the Star Trek Attack Wing community after Dominion War 6 ended of a guy who actually showed a bonfire he made solely from spare DS9 Frisbees.
The big discs. But back on topic to resources. Extra resources. Things getting retired. Oh my gosh, what are we going to do?
Well, for Nationals, flagships and sideboards are going to be gone, so run fleet captain or fighters.
Unless something better comes out, which could be officer exchange program?
Yeah, I thought this was going to suck, and it's amazing.
It's better than what we got for Arena and Tholian Web, that's for sure.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Skilled helmsmen. But yeah. In general, well, David, you can tell us how well this worked out, because haven't you guys already, just gotten away with the old Dominion War resources?
Yeah, we retired Dominion War after Collect.
Tucker, your typing is very loud.
Yeah, I know. I'm done. I promise. Sorry about that.
Sorry, go ahead, David.
Yeah, after Collective, we retired Dominion War. And while I thought it was maybe a little heavy-handed, it was one of those things. It was just like flagships were showing up everywhere, and we were kind of done. And this was before the whole 50-point limit thing came out from WizKids, so it was our means of reducing it. So, I don't know. I think it works. I don't know. I still may do things where we bring old ones back into play from time to time, but I think on a grand scale, I don't see a huge issue with retiring them. It means that they can bring them back in the future if they really wanted to.
Question.
Answer.
Well, this is a question for David, actually. Does anyone in your meta run anything besides fleet captains? For resources?
At the last tournament... Well, at the last 2 tournaments I was at, noting that one of them was okay, at the last tournament where only collective and resistance is futile stuff could be run, that was a fleet captain or nothing.
That actually sounds about the same for my meta down here. People have actually been gravitating towards no resources.
Yeah. At the last one where it was, you could run 2. I that's the one I TO at, and I said you could run any 2 you want. I saw somebody ran flagship, elite attack die. Somebody ran elite attack counterattack. Somebody ran a fleet captain counterattack.
There's a lot of variety though still.
There was
when they brought back in the old resources.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody ran sideboard, but I think that's because the rules confuse people. So somebody ran command tokens.
Well, command tokens are basically gone. I mean, we did not get a lot of lead time on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gone. What, in March?
Yes, that sounds right. I mean, one of my main complaints about this is it is flagships, the most influential resource in the game, go out 3 days before nationals happen. Like that is ridiculous.
I'm not sure they would have made that much big of an impact there, though, either, because of unless they are drastically changing their suggested format before then. I'm not sure I see that happening.
God only knows what they're going to do at nationals. I wouldn't be terribly shocked if they went back to the format that was for regionals, except with all the ridiculous new rulings, so everything sucks.
Dr. Nickett brings up, I like the idea of forcing the participation prize as your resource for all OPs that offer them. Nationals and regionals would be open.
But
then what's the point of resources, really?
Yeah, no, I hate that so much. That just says you get fewer points for your build, and you get fewer points for your build. You're stuck with something you don't want. I mean, and there are resources where it's randomly going to matter to some people. Like for OP3, photon torpedoes are suddenly slightly better, but it doesn't matter because nobody in their right mind is running them. Like,
but you'd know what the resource is going in, so you can decide if you want them or not.
Okay, but flip side, what if we're required to take something like fighters, which is 20 freaking points?
Yeah.
Pardon me.
Yeah. Well, again, then you have to decide if you want them or not. Yeah.
And then at that point, again, you're looking at, if you're forcing the resource, you're not getting another resource, unless you're doing some kind of weird combination of resources thing.
Yeah.
And then at that point, if you're going to get the resource you're definitely not getting it for competitive play. Then it's strictly going into the casual play bin. And I mean, really, resources just wreck casual play anyway. You don't really want them there.
I agree.
Especially if you're going over like the missions that come with ships and stuff. Those were not designed to have an Enterprise flagship going through the Kobayashi Maru, or a flagship Praetus going through the Balance of Terror.
Or, I mean, really, any Federation ship going through Rendezvous.
Force resource wouldn't cost. So if you had a 90-point build plus the resource, I mean, still you get a one-shot resource that you can't do anything about. You're basically doubling your blind buy, and I don't like having strange things that I'm not working with my fleet in the first place.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, Dr. Nickett, you're talking about casual play. It's like, okay, that's fine. Do whatever you want. Here's my philosophy on casual play. I've tried to explain this to people a lot. Everything I say about this is good, this is bad, don't run this, don't ever do that, it doesn't apply to casual play because casual play is literally do whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if
We
you're
look for strategies in tournaments and stuff, and tournaments are they are competitive by definition.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, casual play, for me, like, I play with my mom. I run a naked Bird of Prey against a naked Constitution class because she likes the original series. Like, you know, but what I'm saying is, there's no real point in talking about casual play because you're going to do whatever you want anyway. You know, there's a variance forum on Board Game Geek. Take it there; it'll be great. It'll have a lot of fun. I'm thinking about doing up some custom Battlestar Galactica cards if I have some spare time in the near future, which is slightly unlikely. But yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm ranting.
Back on topic: resource retirement. Good, bad, ugly. I don't really care so much about it. I mean, it would be nice to be able to run whatever we have, but considering how unbalanced some of the resources were to begin with, I think this is the best fix we can expect from them, instead of them actually fixing resources for competitive play, because that's what they were meant for. You know, they were released with the tournaments to be played in the tournaments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As evidenced by the fact that you cannot get them directly from them in a retail purchase.
Yeah, and I mean, this is also, I mean, look, WizKids has a very bad track record of making things work for competitive play. See Admiral's Orders. Anybody remember those?
I'm waiting for those to come back.
No, like, I'm not even going to make a Mean Girls reference here. That's never going to happen.
Don't tempt them.
I think it would have been better than some of the things that they did to try to bring other stuff back in line.
Look, here's what I really want. WizKids, if you're listening, here's what I want, okay? All I want is I want 6 obstacles, like X-Wing, okay?
Or 8. We're not picky.
Sure, whatever. Do whatever you have to do to avoid copyright claims. 6 obstacles and sector conditions. Make some sector conditions. I will gladly play OPs for the rest of my life where we play 6 obstacles, shuffle up sector conditions, and go.
Yeah.
Be better than most of the Resistance ones so far.
It would be better than literally every single one of the Resistance ones.
Yeah. I will take a deck of sector conditions. I don't care. Make it a dozen.
Enough that we get some variety. I don't know. I mean, I would even do it right now. It's just I'd get sick of Meteor Shower.
Damage all the time, over and over again.
Did I ever tell you guys about Meteor Shower in the Colorado Regionals?
No, but we were trying to finish the show today.
Oh, God. Okay, I'll tell you the story later. It was just awful. Short version, 3 straight rounds of Meteor Shower.
Ew.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, well, Meteor Shower is the one thing that actually makes you think twice about, like, triple Hidekis in a 120 build.
There's a thing.
That's actually a good point. Okay, you know what? We have a preview to do and stuff.
Yeah.
So yes, retirement. It's a thing that's happening. Get used to it because nothing we say is going to change it. And I mean, really, I don't think it affects as many people anyway. With all the changes they already made, I don't think it's going to be that much of a hindrance because flagships are pretty much gone already. Fleet captains is going to hurt, but that's not till after nationals, so I don't really care.
Yeah. Although the key word there again is suggested, and I wish they would quit using that word if they really mean this is the way we're running it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just say this is the way we're running it.
Well, it's like I said last week. At this point, the best way to create a fun tournament environment for an tackling play group is to completely ignore the fact that WizKids exists.
Yeah. I don't know if I told you guys. I lost 2 players. It was either this weekend or last weekend because they're like, they did what? I don't understand. Why would they do that?
Yeah.
Because they're like, I don't want to read the forum, man. That's way too much hassle. I'm just going to go back to X-Wing.
Well, the really sad part is I don't even know what they were talking about. They did what? I don't know. Anything that's happened over the past 2 months.
I had to explain to one guy why his fleet officer build didn't work anymore.
Oh, that's a sad day. That's a really sad day.
He was using a science officer Spock, and that was hit so hard that he was just like, I don't know what to run now.
Yeah,
I
that's
just want to play it. What
I
is it?
would've.
So yeah, I don't know. So that's that. Those are things for another time. Let's get on to let's run through this I.K.S. Pagh, starting with the Officer Exchange Program, which we were just talking about for resources. Officer Exchange Program, 0 points.
What?
Prior to building your fleet, choose 2 different factions. You do not pay a faction penalty when assigning a captain, admiral, or crew upgrade of either of the chosen factions to a ship in your fleet of the other chosen faction. In addition, when assigning a captain or admiral card of one of the chosen factions to a ship in your fleet of the other chosen faction, the cost of that card is reduced by 1. This applies to all of your captains and admiral cards. So, the interesting thing here is that it is not only saying you should run mixed things, you are rewarded for running mixed things. If you're going Romulan Dominion, put your Romulan on the Dominion ship and put your Dominion on the Romulan ship.
It's actually, I actually saw somebody in the community refer to it in a very funny way. I wish I could remember who it was. I'd give him a shout out. Paging Admiral War to everywhere.
We've got we could do some Mirror and Federation shenanigans. So you could have Worf and Admiral Worf, and they would be on each other's ships. Admiral Worf on the Defiant.
You could actually put Admiral Worf. Now you can have Worf captain the Defiant without a faction penalty. I am so happy about that.
Finally. Hey, you know what? Absolute worst case scenario, and I'm not saying this is a good thing, but it's a thing. Admiral Huron for a free +1 to your captain skill.
Ooh, yeah, good point.
As long as he's not on the Romulan ship.
Yes.
Because that is one thing that some people are going to miss, is that this does not give a flat -1 to all of your things. It has to be on the opposite faction.
Here's another thing, by the way. You don't even have to run ships of both factions.
You could run an all Keldon fleet with all Romulan officers or something.
Yeah, you absolutely could do that.
And that's another one of the good things about this resource, is that it is one of the very few resources, I was talking about this earlier, that has a negative point cost. It costs 0 to take, and it makes other things in your fleet cheaper. The only thing that you could get close to with that so far is the fleet captains, which can pretty easily pay for themselves if they give, especially if they're one of the ones that gives you a free talent.
So, Will, I just realized something.
What did you realize, sir?
I forgot that it gives the captain -1 SP as well.
So your Wayun build is even cheaper?
No, so SotF only costs 3 points on Terek Nor, even though 1 costs 5.
Mm-hmm.
So I can run fighters again.
Woohoo!
This game is so dumb.
Exchanges. But yes, and it comes with the nice all the little faction symbols on the rear side of the card, and it looks pretty.
Yeah. They really need. I wish they'd done something better for Independent, though. It just sort of looks stupid there with all the other cool ones.
All just the yellow globe.
Yeah, it's the yellow dot.
I'm pretty sure that's the same one they use in the Decipher TCG, though.
Yeah.
Is it? Oh.
Maybe it was a planet with like a grid on it, but it was still a round yellow ball.
I don't know. I never played. I kind of stayed away from Decipher games after I tried my hand at the Star Wars TCG.
I just realized that the Romulan symbol is different in Attack Wing and the TCG.
Oh, that's the 2nd edition Romulan symbol.
Gotcha. Because I'm used to this weird triangle thing with the wings up. And you know what?
I remember that. Yeah, that's That used to
That's
be in
the
all
one
the
they
old
used
video
in
games too.
Nemesis.
Oh, this new one is the one they use in Nemesis?
Yeah.
Weird.
Like in Armada and all that. It was the triangle one.
And then the Kazon are there for no good reason. But moving on from that, resource, great resource, use it. If you don't have anything better to run. And in the future, it might be the best thing you have to run.
Yeah, I mean, after flagships go away and sideboards and fighters, I mean, unless we get some baller resources in the next couple LPs, it's going to be this and fleet captains.
Mm-hmm. All right, so moving on to the Pagh. Pagh. Am I pronouncing it right? Who knows how to speak Klingon?
Pagh.
Pagh?
Ugh.
Rhymes with gach.
Gach. I thought Gach had a t at the end. Well, whatever. The Pagh, a Cavort class, 4153, has attack, 2 weapons, and a crew, 26 points. Is that the right silhouette? It kind of looks like the Chang's Bird of Prey silhouette, but whatever.
That's the Chang's Bird of Prey, yeah.
Womp womp.
Anyway,
David is right. David definitely called it. He called that it was going to be Cavort.
David, you're a winner.
Yay! What do I win? Nothing.
The respect and adulation of your peers. What more do you need?
Okay. Anyways.
By ships.
Ship ability.
When attacking, you may convert one of your critical results into a hit result. If you do so, you may convert one of your blank results into a hit result.
Why am I... Here's the thing. This is a 26-point ship. It maxes out at 5 damage. Why am I not running a Vorcha? I mean, that's basically... I look at this say, why am I not running a Vorcha? I could roll 5-1, 5-2. I lose a shield. I'm cloaked. It doesn't matter. Or whatever. I'll lose a shield. Whatever. And I can get 5 dice and just keep my criticals and still max out at 5 damage.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the only thing I see that this possibly works with is if you're one of those strange people that runs photon torpedoes, the ones that give you a crit, and all of a sudden they are all quantum torpedoes.
What do Klingons have for photons? Hold on.
They have the 5-point crit front and back, or the 3-point crit front and back.
Yeah, and if this is like the Karaga, it will have a rear arc.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. What do we got? We got yeah.
Then again, I was never a fan of quantums to begin with, really. If I'm dealing you, I'd rather deal you a crit than an extra damage for the most part. Unless it's exactly that 1 damage that will kill you. And even if it is, I still have like a 10% chance to get it out of the crit damage deck.
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't know if that's worth 5 points. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. How does this compare to the other Cavort? This is the same upgrade slots, right?
I'm gonna take a look right now. Okay, the Karaga. The generic Karaga, yeah, it's the same upgrade slots on the named and the generic. Ability is... no, I lied. On the generic is the same for both. On the named Karaga, it is Tech Weapon Crew.
Ooh, we have more room for weapons.
Ooh, we're Klingons!
We need better weapons in this game.
God, tell me about it. Well, we had one. We had one. It was called Borg Missile.
Moving on with more Klingon stuff, we have Kargan, 4-point Klingon captain.
Karaga.
I'd rather the Karaga, and I haven't run a Karaga instead of a Cavort for a year or more.
Yeah.
Or not a Cavort, a Vorcha.
A Vorcha.
Yeah.
Anyways, Kargan.
Kargan, 4-point Klingon captain, 6 skill, no talent. He is untalented.
Boo.
During the activation phase, after you move, if you perform an action listed on one of your upgrades, you may immediately perform a target lock action as a free action if possible. If you do this, place an auxiliary power token beside your ship.
Why is this... This is... Now, don't get me wrong. This is a great card. I love this card. It is just infuriating how much worse than Spock it is.
Mm-hmm. However, considering that he is still a free action no matter how limited, and this is what I would have wanted for all of the other free action captains to begin with, since free actions are so awesome. But he's not bad. He's still probably better than most of the other captains that don't give you free actions. Like, what's the most comparable? Closest thing you can compare him to is what? Worf? How would you compare this to Worf?
I mean, the thing is, I'd rather run both. I think I would probably rather run Worf if I had to choose between the two of them.
Same.
But it's a pretty close thing. By the way,
pretty similar abilities.
I just noticed something.
What did you notice?
You can't fit Martok 9, Worf, and this guy on 3 Vorchas with Ingaran and Drex. But you can fit him, Martok 9, and Worf, and Garen and Drex on 3 Keldons with Officer Exchange Program.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah. Hey, so yeah, Klingon upgrades with actions. Of course, Drex and Garen, but Azith Burr, Cry Havoc, Defense Condition 1.
Projected stasis field, for crying out loud.
Yeah. EM Pulse, Incha. Clegg, not that you'd ever take it. Klingon Boarding Party.
Well, yeah, I take Clegg.
I mean, I take Clegg a lot just to get my 90 points or 120 points or whatever.
Yeah, there are a lot of actions.
Once more onto the breach.
Klingons are definitely a race of action.
It'll be a little bit harder with Kargan because since he doesn't have talent slots, but there are ways to get him talent slots.
Yeah. Point being, there's a lot out there that work.
And it's not terrible.
It's not terrible at all.
It's in fact pretty good.
Even Drexer and Garen is the great combo there since you're getting the target lock.
By the way, one thing you definitely want to remember when you're using Kargan is if you are using a bunch of free actions, because of the Janus Rand ruling, he can be used at any time during your action sequence, which means that you want to do everything else first, then use your upgrade action, and then use him. Because you have to use him right after you use that upgrade, and he gives you an auxiliary power token. So if you don't use him last, and therefore the upgrade second to last, you won't be able to take any other actions that turn.
Yeah, because there's some pretty bad wording down here. It says during the activation phase, after you move, if you perform an action listed on one of your upgrades, you do not perform actions in the after you move step because there are actually cards that say after you move, do this. That's
actually a really good point.
Don't ask Worf.
Don't ask. No more asking Worf. They've done enough.
Suddenly they will tell you that this only works on cards that actually say they do an action in the after you move portion.
Which are, I mean, that's like Enterprise E Riker, I guess.
And Romulan Pilot.
Oh my god. By the way, like one of my biggest regrets ever is I remember every day, how I was like, oh my god, the rules forum is up. They're not posting anything. When will they start posting things? And
now you regret it.
I just remember the first thing I posted after that first day of posts was, what have I done?
You literally asked for this.
I literally asked for it.
All right, moving on. We were talking about ways to get Kargan a talent. Well, here's a way to get it for him. Here's William T. Riker, the crewman. Federation crew with a talent slot. They're not even using the text for the talent slot anymore. They're just saying, "You look, he has a talent slot." You do not pay a faction penalty when assigning this card to a Klingon ship. As an action, you can disable this card to increase your captain skill to a 10 until the end phase. The question is, does disabling him mean you don't get to use the talent?
I would say that since there's not text that would indicate that you can't, I would say you keep the talent.
Yeah.
I don't want to ask Worf. They're going to break it again.
No.
I don't know either. Well, okay, our precedent is Garrick.
And he spells out a lot of what happens to him if he's disabled.
Yeah, but then again, there are all those gankers that say you can use this through shields, and they're like, that is unnecessary text.
The way talents generally worked was a talent goes on a ship, not on a particular captain. Because when you move a captain to the sideboard, it doesn't take his talents with him. Unless it's Kirk now. Kirk takes his talents with him now.
What?
Wait. What?
Any card that takes things on him that are face down go with him when he moves from to or from the sideboard.
Okay, that...
They made the precedent with Quark, and
okay, that makes sense. Face
Yeah.
down stuff makes sense.
yes.
All right, I'll grant them that, because that was... I think the previous ruling was that no other captain could use face-down talents, and that was just stupid. So, does Shinzen do the same thing, then?
Probably. I'd have to take a closer look at Shinzon, but in the meantime, I'd rather talk about Riker.
It's pretty good.
Captain skill 10 for an action.
Mm.
Better
think
than
you're
Romulan
paying
Commander?
for his talent slot.
Well, to be fair, you could also run him on a Phlox Beverly boat.
I think that's what Enterprise E Riker was for.
Here's the question. Do we have a way to activate Riker before he moves?
Yes, Borg Admiral.
Allows you to perform the action on an upgrade on another ship.
Yep.
So instead of just using whenever your ship moves and then using his action to get 10 just for the combat phase, now you have a 10 movement phase as well, which is going to be really good for cloakers and additional movement getters.
And actually, after he moves, he can use his own action to re-enable himself, so he can do it every turn.
I could take 2 10-skill captains every turn. Well, maybe not 2 10-skill captains, because I need something lower than whatever he starts as.
Salatrell.
We'll figure out something to do with him.
No, seriously, Salatrell. That gives you 2 10-skill shots at less than 10 skill in movement.
Oh, right. Salatrell on the other ship.
Yes.
Yes. Romulan Federation team-up.
Officer Exchange Program!
All right. After our William T. Riker, who does some cool things that we have found a way to abuse, of course, because that's what we do here. Surrender as ordered.
I love this card.
I think it's hilarious. I don't think it's useful. But 4-point Klingon talent. Action. Discard this card to target one enemy ship at range 1 that is in your forward firing arc. The target ship may choose to not attack this round and disable all of its weapon upgrades. If it does this, then your ship cannot attack that ship this round. If the target ship chooses not to do this, or if it has no weapon upgrades that are not already disabled, you gain +2 attack dice against that ship this round.
Oh, that sucks. I didn't notice the weapon upgrade rider.
Or if it has no weapon upgrades?
Yeah, that's so stupid. Nobody runs weapons except feds, I guess.
Is there some way around that they still get around the attack, and then without, even if they don't have the weapon upgrades? And I guess not.
Yeah. Then no weapon upgrades. It's just action gain +2 attack dice.
Yep.
That sucks.
Well, you know, there'll be people that have run dorsal weapons arrays.
Yeah, but I mean that's good for 1 round. Like unless you expect to fight 3 straight rounds of dorsal phaser banks, like.
My question is when does the timing of this take place? You may choose to not attack this round and disable all of your. Oh, I bent my ruler. May choose not to attack this round and disable all of your weapons upgrades. So do they choose this when they attack to choose not to attack, and then you can't attack them? Because then you're still attacking them if your captain would have attacked them before their captain goes.
No. I'm assuming they make the choice as soon as you activate the ability. Which also has the hilarious side effect of if they move after you, they can just spend an action to re-enable the weapon because nobody's attacking. Man, this car looks so cool, and now that I'm sitting here thinking about it,
It's an action for +2 attack dice. Sometimes. Sorry, Tucker. I ruined your day.
Better take it on a Martok 9 with the Klingon fleet captain. Buffed by Admiral Gorkin.
And it's a discard even.
Yeah, get like Klingon skill 12.
Now, if it was like something like you gain 4 attack dice this round, like whoever that Vorta was,
yeah,
then I might see play.
You know, I'm sad now, and I'm taking it out on somebody who says that Faction Pure balances the game.
I have not, nor will I ever say that Faction Pure balances the game.
Oh my god.
I swear I just started an entire topic on Board Game Geek of how that's not the case.
Yeah, well, you mostly got people telling you... You mostly got people telling you things like, tiers don't exist!
Yeah.
I would like to introduce those people to competitive smashing. Also, just normal smashing. Like me smashing them.
So, phaser array retrofit?
Phaser array retrofit. 5-point Klingon weapon. I don't care. Well, mostly because of the last line, but let's go with it. When attacking with your primary weapon at range 3, you gain +1 attack die and your opponent rolls 1 less defense die. Not terrible. This upgrade may only be purchased for a Klingon ship. No ship may be equipped with more than 1 phaser array retrofit. What Klingon ship cares?
Maybe the Samra?
When do I ever want to attack them at range 3?
You don't.
For 5 points, you get +1 attack at 1 very specific range increment with 1 very specific weapon.
Yeah.
Aren't there things that do that continuously for less than that costs?
Yeah, and I mean, look, what this does effectively is it turns range 3 into range 1 part 2.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is, range 3 doesn't it happens maybe on the first turn of the engagement. Maybe.
Okay. Let me throw something out there. I have not lost my own sanity. Chang's Bird of Prey, photon torpedoes.
Primary weapon only.
Never mind. Primary weapon.
Yeah. No, and even with that, I was going to say, yeah, you've lost your sanity, bro.
If that didn't say primary weapon, then...
I was going to say, the next time you might get into range 3 is if you do the 3 come about and the other guy does a 3 come about after your initial joust. But
yeah,
I don't...
No, I mean, look, the point of this card, the reason... This ability has a lot of qualifiers in this, that, and the other. It's very easy. It just turns range 3 into range 1. Mm-hmm. The problem is, that's not very good.
No. Isn't there a Klingon ship that has you roll less
things at range 3?
Yeah, keep talking. I'll find it.
No,
it's like the Katinga or something.
Yeah, it's something bad.
It's not that good.
Let's see.
+1. Any ship attacking you at range 3 rolls 1 less attack.
And as we may have demonstrated with our lovely fighter demonstration earlier in the show, it's not too entirely difficult to skip range 3 altogether.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's not great. Yeah. It's passable.
I'll put it in the firewood pile.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put it in the fire pit, but it's not as bad as a lot of other cards, but it's not great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We still have one more card we can get. Maybe we can get some good action out of Tunneling Neutrino Beam.
Don't be silly.
3-point Federation Tech. Action. Disable this card to target one friendly ship at range 1. Target ship repairs 1 damage to its hull. You cannot attack this round. You do not pay a faction penalty when assigning this card to a Klingon ship.
So, I have a story. I have a friend who's a calculus teacher, and a pre-calculus teacher. And she was teaching all of her kids to solve trigonometric equations. And finally, after a long, arduous semester, she finally got them all to do it. She was so happy. And then she put a question about them on the final, and every single person except one got them wrong. The moral of this story is, whiz kids, why? You figured out how to do repair cards. You just figured it out.
Bringing it down. Action. Disable this card to target a friendly ship at range 1. If it was not a disable, I think it would have been fine.
Yep.
Throw this on, as one of my my old friends used to say when he was back on the show, HMS Iron Duke. I haven't seen him around lately. I'm sure he's made the sane run for the border of X-Wing or something by now. But ships now can have different roles between, you know, support, tank, and healer.
Yeah.
Healer would have been a nice thing to have. You could throw this on a science vessel and start healing people up, and maybe throw a Denatra on there just so they keep getting some other benefit as well. Because then you can heal up one of your bigger ships and let the bigger ship do what it does and shoot things.
Yeah.
But it's a disable, so you need 2 actions to even be able to do it every turn.
And really, do you want to waste Martok's free action to re-enable this every turn?
Or like Phlox Dr. Beverly or something ridiculous.
No.
I would not add 10 extra points just so I could re-enable this every turn.
Yeah, no, this is bad. This is so bad.
And I mean, maybe you're okay with this working every other turn, but
maybe
No,
you
it's
equip
not.
maybe you equip 3 of these onto a Romulan drone ship.
oh,
I'm not paying 12 points for that.
That was worth a shot. Could use Federation Fleet Captain. That's the one that removes the disabled token, isn't it?
I'm not paying 8 points to do this every single turn.
Yeah,
Plus,
Federation Fleet
you-
Captain doesn't give you a free talent, so it kind of sucks.
yeah. Well, but then you run Clark Terrell on it, so then you've got a buff captain. Yeah.
But what would
Maybe.
you put it on? You don't have anything good that lives long enough and is small enough to use it effectively.
Okay, no, wait a minute. Fed Fleet Captain, it doesn't have to be... It can be like any ship, right? It doesn't have to be the one that's got the Fleet Captain, right?
Correct.
Yeah, anything within range 1 to 2. No, that's wrong.
1 to 3 even.
That's the flagship.
1 to 3
yeah.
for the Fleet Captain. Just the
Yeah, you're
just
right.
the Federation one though.
So what you could do, actually, is you could just put Terrell on a shuttle, or even just a blank shuttle, you know, and just have this, and, you know, you got 12 points or whatever kicking around.
Come here, Raven. Where have you been?
Not even the Raven.
Yeah, the generic... I'm not paying for the Raven. Why would I do that? It's just a generic Airy class.
Yeah, true. I guess it depends on what we see, what the actual shuttle comes up looking like in the next OP.
The Air class has 2 tech slots, so come here, Airy class.
I'll make you shoot at this thing.
Yeah.
That is everything for the Pagh. For the Pagh.
By the way, so the Pagh has 2 weapon slots, but we've only been shown 1 weapon. I would not consider it terribly unlikely that it just comes with photons, and Terry just didn't bother showing us.
Or maybe 2 copies of Phaser Array Retrofit? Not that you can
No.
do on the ship.
I think this is actually all of the cards, because So far, every OP prize has come with 9 cards. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards already.
Fair enough.
Or is it 11 cards? No, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards because I was counting the resource. 8th card is going to be your maneuver card.
And 9th is the generic captain.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Everything accounted for. You have enough photon torpedoes in your wood pile anyway.
Photon torpedoes.
Torpedoes! Alright. Well, I guess that's going to do it for the Pagh. And that is going to almost do it for the show. Newsworthy things. We went over most of them. The retirement of resources. The Pagh's I don't want to say release. It's spoiling. We don't have any rules for that scenario yet, though, that I've seen.
I would just love it if it's just like faction purity doesn't apply, no penalties for anyone, based on the episode, you know.
Yeah, I know. Some people, like Terry described, is like she looked at the resource like, well, we play faction pure, so we're going to have a discussion on this card. So I'm interested. I'm curious to see how that one turns out. But other than that, not really any huge news. Which is kind of surprising because it's been another week since we've not really had anything.
Watch out for the ship retirement news.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, where we start old ships and their cards start getting phased out.
Yep.
I'm not going to be happy with that if that happens.
Oh, that'll be it. That'll be it. I mean, I played Magic. I'm standard. Whatever it rotates, I can deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll hate it, but I can deal with it. But most of the player base, I think that is the one thing you could get every damn person who plays this game to agree on.
Mm-hmm.
Probably. Yeah. Well, I think if they do that, I think I'm done. So
what if they take the middle ground instead of getting rid of retail ships, they get rid of prize ships only?
I'd be okay with that. But
I'd be okay with that too.
The problem is all of the good ships are not prize ships.
I'd also be perfectly fine with them saying, "Hey guys, Borg is done." But
no, it would have to be, "Hey guys, Borg and fighters are done."
We tried that fighter thing; it didn't work out for us. Let's go back to regular ships.
Yeah.
Or let's just or we'll keep those things and let's change the point costs on them.
No, I mean, look. This is a disagreement for those listening, those newcomers or whatever. This is a consistent disagreement that Will and I have when it comes to how to fix the game. Will prefers to make modifications in errata. I prefer to just get rid of things because I think it's valuable to have cards do what they say. Yeah,
that's a good thing. It would be nice to give a new player a ship and have it do exactly what it says it does.
I mean, not that that happens anymore with Warp anyway, but...
Mm-hmm. But yeah. I'm working on 2.0. Tucker's working on the ban list.
Yeah. And
they
both
both work.
Of those goals, by the way, have advantages and disadvantages. I also recognize the reason I do the 200-point format that I do is my two goals are keep cards working like they say they do and be able to play with as many of the things you have as possible.
Mm-hmm. I don't think there's anyone who plays this game anymore that couldn't fill out a 200-point fleet.
No, in other words, what I'm saying is, if a new player comes along and he's super, like, he just watches Star Trek and he's super fond of Borg, or he thinks the Peregrine fighters are just the coolest thing ever from DS9, right? I don't want to be the guy that has to tell him, actually, that, $30, $40, $50 you just invested, you can't run those here. Sorry.
Yeah, that wouldn't be fun.
Right. And so then the flip side is I don't want him to, run into a scenario where it's like he comes into like somebody's thing and it's like, oh, none of those cards work the way you thought they do, because he's already confused enough about how this damn game works.
Just learning the game and also having to learn all the exceptions at the same time.
Anyway, yeah, we could. I mean,
we could we could make a whole show about that. I think we did.
I think we did. Yeah. I mean, it's out of date now due to all of the ridiculous things that the rules forum has done since then. But
we'll do it. We'll do it for our graduation show or our
hold on.
Annual show.
Didn't we make that show like literally a month ago? And it's like already out of date?
I think so, yeah. It was like episode 26.
Oh my god.
Hello, Arcadian. How are you doing? We're just wrapping up here.
This game.
But yeah, so, if anyone who just tuned in, I don't know how long you've been watching Arcadian, but we also, if you look below the Twitch feed, there is a link to the Facebook, to the YouTube, and to the podcast if you want to get a copy of this or listen to it on your drive to work or something. David, Tucker, anything cool going on for Star Trek for you guys this week?
No, my next tournament is February. Something.
For Star Trek in general, I'm about to hit Tier 5 with most of my reputations, pick up some awesome gear and stow. But no, it looks like the one venue that was within 100 miles, or the one venue in the entire state of New Mexico appears to not be running events anymore.
Yeah, Central Florida's not looking too good either. I've got 3 events. Seems like it's very likely they will not be running any more events after Resistance is Futile 3. And one of our Resistance is Futile 3s is still waiting on a date that we can actually run it because the event coordinator changed over the holiday.
Yeah. Although, I will say this. I have friends up in Colorado, and I just visited LA, and it seems like those 2 areas are still going very strong. So it looks like, you know, for people who are dooming and glooming about the game dying, it looks like, honestly, it just looks like the smaller areas are dying out, which is a bad sign, but not the complete end of the world.
Yeah, I'm running various scenarios to try to keep the few remaining players I've got, you know, just at least having fun. But I don't know how long it's going to last, especially. And we'll do another reevaluation as soon as Nationals comes around.
Yeah.
So let's see. What's the point of prize shifts, even if they won't let you play them? Seems to be dying in the UK. They struggle to get the event packs. Yeah, that'd be a problem too. Like we were already struggling enough when December, you know, took a dive, and they had the shipping delays for the next wave, which is next week now. And now we have more delays because of just logistical things. Delays do not help a game stay alive.
Oh yeah, and that reminds me, on the news front, rumor has it, according to distributors, that the next wave, not wave 11, but wave 12, has been delayed to early March.
Right.
Yeah, that's worse than I expected. You think it was still? Well, I guess early March is close to late February since February's short.
Yeah, no, it's like March 2nd or something. Like
okay,
it's
that's acceptable.
March 4th, I think is what it is. That's the first Wednesday in March. Like it's, or no, that's wrong. No, it is. It's right. Yeah, the first Wednesday in March is. I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Yep. Yeah. So in the meantime, I will be hoping for Scum and Villainy to come out in X-Wing earlier than planned, but that looks like it's also March. But we don't talk about that. And the Dungeon & Dragon one's coming up because I also play a little bit of that on the side, and I'm still trying to decide if it's going to be suffering from enough power creep that I don't want to continue it.
It's a D&D game. The answer is yes.
D&D. At least the dragons look cool. But yeah, so that is going to do it for tonight, guys. Thank you all for joining us. We will have more refined, hopefully, strategy options that I can illustrate better in future shows. This was a little bit of a test run, a little bit of we're not quite sure what we want to do because there was so little news going on. But yeah, until we see you guys next week, and hopefully we'll think of some topics for us by then. Play more Star Trek if you can. Try to get more people interested, and may Q be generous with your dice. That's going to do it for us for tonight. Everyone have a good one.
State of the Federation is a production of Will S. in association with Tucker C. and David M. We are not associated or affiliated with WizKids games, and except where specified, WizKids did not endorse or approve any of our podcasts. All copyrights are copyright of their respective rights holders.